Happy Good Friday! Just putting on the apron and getting ready to bake hot cross buns today. It is Good Friday, so happy Good Friday and happy Easter weekend to all of you out there. I am hosting a group today that is baking hot cross buns. Hello, Harmelinda from the OC. Hello, Kimmy. Oh, look, I can wave at you. You guys, this is my first Facebook Live. I've helped many others do Facebook Lives, but I haven't done this myself yet on here because I've done some other lives. Hey! So, you guys, today, hi, Katie. I am going to be hosting a baking group. And this all started because my church, Family Church, is hosting a bunch of community groups online right now in this season. And aside from people hosting their own fun things online, which is so exciting to see. I've been participating in so many free classes and just hosted lives. That hot cross buzz is in my head. Yes, you guys, speaking of, so if you don't know, we're going to be baking hot cross buns. I'm going to be doing 3 live segments today. If you are following along, I know we have Patty, Patricia Lopez, Kim, Danae, Natalie out there, who I think are baking with me at their home. If you are baking with me at your home, please let me know. And I'm going to do my best to read your comments or shout out at you. Hey, you like my apron? Well, it was on clearance. And I thought it would be perfect for Easter because it's purple, right? I don't know. I think it just goes. Speaking of hot cross buns, like I promised, I have my purple recorder and I'm going to be playing hot cross buns for you. So please sing along. If you don't know the words, hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Here we go. There you have it. That's our little intro for today. So let's get started. Here we go. You got your yeast brewing. So you guys, I'm gonna start with the first part of our recipe. If you are baking with me, the recipe is, you got sent the recipe and you got sent the timeline for today. So from 9 to 9:30, we're gonna start with steps 1 through 3. So let's get started. So I have my bowl here. We're gonna take our packet of yeast, shake it out. Char can play with you. Yes, Charlotte. If you have your recorder nearby, can you please play hot cross buns on the recorder? So, yeast. I'm gonna treat this little online class as if you are baking hot cross buns for the very first time, like myself. I think I baked this years ago, but I can't remember exactly. So I've got my yeast. I took 1 packet of yeast. I have 1 cup of milk, and I'm gonna start stirring that in or stirring that together. And we're gonna let that sit for 3 to 5 minutes. So right now I just did 1 cup of milk and a packet of yeast, and I'm going to let that sit there. Just gonna whisk it up a little bit. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Hi, Rick. Hi, Eric. Hi, Christine. So as I just whisked, I don't know, and I tried to pick this angle where you can sort of see the bowl. I can't see it exactly because you guys could see it a lot better. So what I'm gonna do is it's 9:04. So at 9:11, I will take this and we will use it. So I'm gonna put this over here by my morning coffee. How are you guys doing this morning? Have you guys had your coffee yet? You guys, what did you have for breakfast today? That's what I always love to ask people. What did you have? I just had a piece of toast and my morning coffee. So we just put the yeast with the milk and it's starting to bubble. Ooh, I wish that we could show that on camera. If you guys are baking with me, Kim, have you seen your yeast bubble? Look, is the yeast bubbling? That's always so amazing, right? That yeast is living. Isn't that amazing? Even though it's dry in a package, you literally put it in a bowl and you you put liquid to it, and then all of a sudden it's like, do, 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 do. Isn't that's so fascinating. Okay, let's go to our big mixing bowl. If you are following along with me or you're just watching, hey, let's just watch. I have a big mixing bowl. I'm going to add, I prepped all this beforehand, 3.5 cups of flour. So here goes the flour. And then we're gonna put some salt. How much salt? 1 teaspoon salt. And you guys can use kosher salt, regular table salt, sea salt if you wish. This is 1 teaspoon of salt. Next, we have spices. Spices are so exhilarating, right? Okay, so spices, we've got 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon. Hi, Renee, Makalani, hey guys. So we just put 1 teaspoon cinnamon, and then here's something. 1 teaspoon allspice and 1/4 teaspoon ground ginger. I didn't have just allspice, so you know what I'm using? I'm using pumpkin spice because it has nutmeg, allspice with nutmeg, cinnamon, and some ginger in there. So you guys can, if you guys want to add something special that you like Kim, I know you like cardamom. What if you put cardamom in there? I know it'll taste it a little bit, but like, hey, you're making this, so it's your prerogative. You could do what you want to do. It's your prerogative. So now we're going to add your mixture that you want in your hot cross buns dough. Okay, so the recipe calls for currants. Currants is a type of grape, if you're not sure what that is. And so when you think of currants and raisins, they're basically the same thing because they're coming from the grape, but it's a type of grape and it's a smaller grape. I love currants. At this time during quarantine, I have not been able to find any, and that's okay. So I just took what I had in the cupboard and I'm using it up. So I have, what I did was I took dried apricots and I just chopped them up, dates, and then you guys, this is gonna add a whole nother twist, pistachios. So my hot cross buns are gonna have apricots, dates, and pistachios. Now, if you want to be all traditional, oh my goodness, you know that hot cross buns are a very traditional sweetbread they're made on Good Friday, and they're given to like friends and family on Good Friday all over Europe. In fact, I was talking to my friend who had lived in England this morning, and she said they're all over the place in England right now. I mean, if places are open. So I just put my apricot, my dates, and my pistachios. If you're following along with me, please let me know what you guys put in your mixture. So Kim, what did you use? Patty, if you're out there, some of the other ladies, I don't know, I tag people. Hi, Chris. Hello, Victoria. So good to see you on here. Tell the penguin joke. You know what? If you really want to hear it, maybe I'll come back and tell you like when I put the dough into rise. Maybe that might be a perfect moment. Okay, so if you just hopped on here, hola Elizabeth from Argentina. Hello, Crystal. Okay, so what I just did was in the mixing bowl I have flour, salt, spices. I put my own mixture of apricot, dates, pistachios. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix this all well, and I'm kind of just going all old school here. I'm just using a wooden spoon, and I'm just gonna mix that all up together. Now, what I'm gonna do next is, it's 9:09, so we have about 2 more minutes for our yeast and milk mixture that's activating. And what I'm gonna do in this bowl, ooh, you know what I just discovered? I could show you guys like this. Candied fruits, dried fruits. Okay, you guys, if you guys see Kimberly Stinson on your comment list right there, she's making this with me along with a couple of other ladies, but I haven't seen them chime in yet, so I don't know if they're out there. So what she's using is candied fruits and dried fruits. That's fantastic. That's fantastic, Kimmy. I'm so glad to read. that you are using dried fruits and candied fruits. What I'm trying to do, guys, right now is some of my dried apricot and dates have sort of clumped together. So I'm sort of kind of chopping them up, not chopping them up, but kind of trying to separate them. So right now I am on, if you're following the recipe, I am on step 2, and what I'm doing is I'm making a well in the center so that all the flour mixture is to the sides. Okay, so now, if you're with me, are you with me? Do I hear a with me? I am going to take that yeast and milk mixture, and I'm going to add butter and beaten eggs in here. So I've got 6, actually I want to show you this. So what I'm gonna do here is, no, you know what? I'm so sorry, guys. First I'm gonna do this. So let's pour, I'm gonna try to show you this. I'm gonna pour the yeast and milk mixture in the middle, like so. Ooh, look at that. Do you guys see the yeast? It has been activated. Isn't that so, I think that's the coolest thing. There's so much science in baking. There's so much science all around us. Okay, now I'm going to take 6 tablespoons of melted butter. So let's put that in the well. Do you guys see that melted butter drizzling in? Ooh, how many of you guys like butter? Butter, it's like butter. Do you guys like butter? Butter makes everything taste good, doesn't it? Sometimes too much butter can be too good. Now, also I have 2 eggs. So what I'm gonna do is let me crack my eggs. I'm gonna whisk them up. I wanted to prep this in advance, but I thought it'd be fun to crack eggs with you. So if you're cracking eggs with me, we can do this together. Because I know that, okay, there we go. Now, hi Mary. Hola Raquel. So right now what I'm doing is I am whisking 2 eggs. I just put the milk and yeast mixture and the butter in the well of my flour mixture. So they look pretty well beaten up nicely for baking. And let's put that in the middle of my mixture. I'm gonna tilt the bowl a little bit. And then that's all in there. Now we're gonna use a giant wooden spoon to bring it all together. So you guys, I know some of you out there might have a KitchenAid mixer, or this is my mixer since I've had this for so far 7 years now. Since we got this for our wedding. And this is my little mixer. You can use this, but I'm gonna go old fashioned. I'm just gonna use a wooden spoon. A lot of you guys out there, hopefully, have a KitchenAid mixer, which also has a dough attachment. How many of you have one of those? And have you used it? Do you like it? I've never used it. I know my mother has one, so I would love to try to use that to, I don't know, I hear it's amazing, and I hear it's exponentially faster, but that's okay. So right now, what am I doing? I am mixing this mixture. What are we mixing? We're mixing flour, salt, spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice. I put in my mixture, I'm putting dried apricots, dates, and pistachios for my hot cross buns. If you don't know what we are making hot cross buns. And right now, you guys, I want to share kind of what I'm mixing. This takes a lot of arm work here. Hello, Sonia. Hey, Carlos, what's up? Carlos, how you doing? How's the family? So once I get all this together, it says use your hands to make the dough to a large ball. It will be sticky. So far, can you see this? I'm grabbing all that dough off of the sides, getting it in the dough, and you guys, This is a wooden spoon. That's all you need. And then eventually I'm gonna discard the wooden spoon and use my hands. I mean, how fun is this on Good Friday? Making hot cross buns. Okay, so right now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take off the excess off my wooden spoon and I'm gonna get my sleeves up. And look, I'm gonna get my hands in there and get really in the dough of the hot cross buns. And I'm surprised that it's come together so easily. Oh, it smells so good. Hey, Glenn, what's up? Hi, Lucinda. Yup. Hi, Dawn, how are you? So if you guys just tuned in, we are making hot cross buns. And I'm so excited to get these baking and made. So right now, you guys, our next step is, it's the recipe is telling me it will be sticky, but you know what? It's not as sticky as I expected. So right now I'm going to get a floured surface. So let me pull over this little mat, and Kim or any other ladies in our baking group right now, if you are with me, hopefully you guys are around the same steps. I have a little surface. What I'm gonna do is grab some flour and I'm gonna flour my surface so that we have a nice even area to roll out our dough. Our hot cross bun dough. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns. Oh, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. So here we go. I'm gonna take my large ball of dough, and you guys, the next step is kneading this for 5 minutes. So welcome to Easter baking and getting some good arm work. Are you guys ready? Hi guys. I'm just reading the highs. I'm probably like a couple minutes late. So here we go. I'm beginning to knead my dough on a floured surface for about 5 minutes. So right now it is 9:18. I'm gonna keep track and I'm gonna just knead as I go and see if this dough gets more pliable. But so far so good. Oh gosh, and you guys, let me explain the smell right now. If you're not baking with me, that's okay. So, the dough is wet. Okay, Nicole, hi Nicole, how are you? Okay, Kim, Tanya. You guys, my friend Tanya is watching all the way from South Africa. Tanya, how are you? Okay, Kim, if your dough is wet, it probably needs more flour. So don't be afraid. Hi! Don't be afraid to add more flour, okay? Hey, if it's more of like a wet, like sticky, that's actually really good. Not that I'm an expert on hot cross buns, you guys. I am not some expert. I just wanted to make these this Easter, so I was like, hey, let's host a group and make some. So here I am, kneading the dough. Nancy Sanderson, how are you? Nancy, I think you were coming in from the East Coast, right? Oh my goodness, Nancy. Nancy and I played sisters in a play, oh gosh, back in like 1998 or 1999. You guys, this takes some work. This is great. So don't forget, if you're getting a sticky mess on your floured surface, just add some flour. I was gonna ask just Kim, I know you probably can't type because she's kneading her dough right now too. How is your dough looking, Kim? Is it looking less wet, or is it more pliable? I don't know. Okay. Hi, my darling Philadelphia. Nancy is coming in from Philadelphia. We have Tanya from South Africa, Cape Town, on here. We have Nancy from Philadelphia. And then we've got, oh gosh, we've got so many people. Nicole, you are up in Sacramento, right? Northern California. You guys, if you're on here still watching, okay, I think I need to put, it's a lot of work. It's good though. It's good work. It's like brunt work. If you're watching from wherever you are, put the area. I mean, if you don't want to put the city, that's okay. Where are you watching live from? And you happen to be in a hot crust buns live segment. Okay, it's 9:21. I have been kneading this dough for about 4 minutes. I'm gonna give it another minute. Hey Matthew, how are you? Hola Ruth, ¿cómo estás? Matt, I believe you might be watching from South Carolina, right? You guys, what's so fun about live is if people tune in, it's like, oh my gosh, I know where you're watching from. Ruth is one of my tias. I call her a tia, but she's like really a cousin. You guys, Ruth makes amazing cakes. She is a professional baker and cake maker and party maker of all goods. Looks like hard work. It's you know what? It is hard work. Glenn is in Whittier. Glenn, for some reason, I thought you were like in Anaheim or something like that. Hi, Diane. You guys, my cousin Diane is tuning in from Bakersfield. And then we got Matt in South Carolina. You guys, okay, I'm gonna literally pick up this dough. Oh my gosh, it's so, I kind of just want to like eat a little piece of it, which I will. Can you see the dough? I didn't even think about this. I need to go closer to the camera so you can see. So this is my dough for hot cross buns. Kim, how are you doing? Costa, what's up, girl? This is my dough. Oh my gosh, it smells. You know when you walk into a like a restaurant or a bakery that's like baking bread, and you're like, that aroma of something's cooking up. It smells like very fresh, but because of the spices, that's the aroma that kind of oozes out of it. Okay, so you guys, we are about to finish step 3, and then we have to let this dough rise, and then we will be back later on for the next segment. So right now, I am going to oil in a bowl. So our last step, get your bowl, and Costa, I think it's looking good. Oh, good, Kim. Hi, Chanel. How are you? Kim, it looks good. You know what? I'm excited for mine too, because mine looks promising. It looks good and it smells good, and I can't wait to taste it, you guys. Okay, so here's our bowl. If you haven't oiled the bowl yet, all I'm gonna do is pour in a little oil, and I'm going to slither around the bowl to kind of oil the whole bowl. I got some thumbs. You guys, it's so exciting to get a thumbs up. What's up, Andy? Hi, Aunt Alice. You guys, Andy, where are you tuning in from? Alice is up in Lancaster area. You guys, we got people here from the East Coast. We got South Africa in here. We got Californians. We got South Carolina. So you guys, I think I oiled the bowl well enough. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is get this dough in here. So here's our dough. If you guys haven't seen the dough, I just want to say I'm proud of the dough. Look at it. Thank you, dough. And the yeast. Oh my gosh, the yeast was beautiful. It was activated and working. So now what I'm going to do is I've oiled the bowl, and it says place in an oiled bowl, cover with a towel, and leave in a warm place for about 45 minutes. Okay, Kimmy, are you with me? Patty Sheets, are you with me? Natalie Soto, are you with me? Patricia, are you with me? Danae? These are our baking ladies that are supposed to be baking together. Okay, so here, oh my gosh, how exciting. There it is, you guys. There is the dough. Amy and Shelby, Hi, Beverly. So there's the dough. What I'm gonna do now, ooh, it's already sliding it around because of the oil. What I'm gonna do now is grab a towel. Next thing is cover it up, and then we're gonna put it in a place to rise for 45 minutes. Now, a good place for it to rise, Kimmy, for you that are baking and anyone else, or hey, if you're trying this, just notes for later on. A good place for it to rise is an oven that is turned off. Make sure the oven is turned off. And we'll be back at 10:15. I'm gonna come back on a live at 10:15 for the next segment of the hot cross buns dough. That at that point, the dough would have risen for 45 minutes, and then we're gonna put it on the flour service and divide them up into rolls for another rise. So guys, I'm gonna leave for now, but don't forget, let's sing hot cross buns. Here we go. My thumb slipped off there for a moment. Okay guys, we'll see you later. Kimmy, my kitchen is a disaster too. Don't worry about it. Hey, if your kitchen is not a disaster, then it's probably not being in good use. So you're putting it to good use, okay? So right now, you guys, we're ending our first 30-minute segment of hot cross buns dough. We just covered it up. I'm gonna go stick it in the oven to rise. Remember, make sure that your oven is turned off. And I'll see you again at 10:15 for the next segment. Okay, bye. Welcome back to Hot Cross Buns. This is segment number 2. Happy Good Friday. I have been hosting a live baking group for people who are baking hot cross buns. That is the bake of the day. Happy Good Friday to all. So we just finished segment 1 earlier, and our dough has risen a total of 45 minutes. Hi, Jessie. Hello to Hermie again. And Nicole. Yes. Now we need you to play it with your nose. How do you do that? I have never, ever seen anything like that. Hearts! Okay, you guys, I just took out the dough from the oven that was turned off for it to rise. You guys, you want to hear a mistake that I made? When I made, back in segment 1, when I made the milk yeast mixture, I forgot to put the sugar in. Yeah, I know. So what I did was, at the very end, I kneaded the sugar into my final dough. Otherwise, I would have had sugar-free hot cross buns. So look, here's the dough. Oh my gosh. Kimmy, how is your dough looking? Kimmy is out there and she's baking with me. I think some other ladies are, but I haven't heard from them. So how is your dough looking? You know what? She probably can't use her hands. So what I'm going to do now is, there's my dough. And what we're going to do is, if you're following along with the recipe is on my wall, or I have emailed or direct messaged it to you. We are now going to do, in segment number 2, we are going to do steps 4 through 8 on our recipe. Excellent. Good, Kim. That's so good to hear. Okay, my dough looks pretty good. I need to get more flour on my floured surface. So what we're doing right now, if you are following along or if you are baking with me, excellent, like Jesus, yes. Thank you. Yes. The dough is looking excellent like Jesus. Amen. Okay, so right now our recipe is telling us to Turn out the dough onto a floured surface and knead lightly for a few minutes. So let's do that. And while we're kneading, let's talk about Easter breads. Okay, so I grew up with my family, my mom, my grandparents, my tias, and from both sides of the family. My father is from Argentina, and oh my goodness, I love my father's side of the family. It's a large family. My mother, her parents were from Russia and Ukraine, and so on both sides of my family, Easter breads were always made, and different types. And you know what? I like to think of it because like in every culture, all over the world, we kind of make similar things, but in different styles. So, hi Izzy. Hello, welcome back. Makalani mahalo. So I was gonna say, as I'm kneading this for just a couple minutes, and then after we knead this, we're gonna separate it into 12 individual balls so that we can put them on the pan for the second rise. So I was saying that in every culture, there is traditional breads and like sweets made. So when I grew up, my mom, and in fact, my mom just baked some poppy seed rolls the other day. Ukrainian, they're called mak. And she always made traditional like pasca, which is like a kind of like a panettone in Italian, in Italy. And they mix it with like raisins or candied fruits and stuff like that. So we'll talk about more of that stuff in a bit, but right now I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I'm gonna make sure, I can't see exactly what you guys see on the bottom because I see your comments. Hello, Christy. Hello, Ruth. Hi, Sarah. What's up? Okay, so what I've done is, here's my big ball of dough. It has risen for 45 minutes. Now, our recipe is calling for us to cut or divide this dough into 12 balls. So what I'm gonna do is, Kim, I know you're baking with me, so I'm kind of flattening it out, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just, maybe I'll just do this with my hand. Ooh, and you know what, guys? I feel like I might have a lot. So I prepped 2 pans with parchment paper. I have a small pan like this, and then I have a very large pan. And looking at my dough, I feel like this is gonna be the answer. So what I'm gonna do is, let me move my little recorder. I'm gonna put this on the side, and Kimmy, if you're following along, anyone else out there who's following and baking with us, I'm putting it to the side, and I'm going to start separating my little balls of dough and then putting them on the pan close to each other. Now, some of the recipes that I looked at out there, they have, when they place it on the pan, the little balls of dough on the pan, they stick them together, but it's up to you. If you want to stick them together so that they're connected, kind of like this, right? Or you could, on the pan, you could separate them. I feel like I'm gonna do them together. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn my music back on. You gotta have some background music while you're baking, right? Let me make sure that it's not too loud. Okay, so right now what we're doing is, this recipe calls for about 12 hot cross buns. Hello. Hi, April. Hi, Sarah. It's so good to see you. Hello, Maria. My sister-in-law Maria is watching. And then Kim says that her dough is elasticy. That's really good, actually. So if you guys can see, I'm putting it on the pan right here, and notice that they're like a little bit stuck together. My balls are not like, they're not perfectly even sized. And remember, while you guys are doing this, I got a heart, yay! You guys, while you're doing this, don't forget, Kim, to have that flour nearby so that like you can handle it and it without getting sticky. But honestly, this dough is, I'm surprised that it's working. You guys, we had a scare. You know the packets of yeast? This recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of yeast. And I just used 1 packet, but I was speaking to the other bakers in this group, and we had a scare that maybe, it wasn't a really bad scare, but that maybe it wasn't enough yeast. 1 packet of yeast is 2 teaspoons. So we're good. We're good. We're gonna assemble these rolls, and then we're gonna let them rise for another 30 minutes. So you've got, you know, this is a process. Speaking of Easter breads, right? Tata Natalia, say hello. Oh, my niece is watching. Hello, Natalia. And she is watching us bake, you guys. So I'm kind of making my hot cross buns a little bit smaller, I think, because I'm looking at my dough and I'm like, a little bit can go a long way. So hey, so now I was gonna say, talking about Easter breads, there's so many types out there. I was talking about my mom and how she kind of learned from her mother about this Russian Ukrainian paska bread, and they would use large coffee cans to bake the bread in. So can you imagine, like around Easter time, coffee cans were like the hot commodity, kind of like how flour and yeast are right now. Hi, Cherry. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to see who like jumps on. How are you guys out there? So glad you stopped by to say hello. Happy Good Friday. We are making, hello, Tsai Ying Shen. Ni hao ma, xie xie. Alessandro. Hello, Alessandro. Alessandro is tuning in from Italy. Yes. Hi, Rebecca. Oh my gosh. No, Rebecca, I have not changed a bit. Oh my gosh, Rebecca from Texas. When you guys tune in, I would love to hear where you guys are tuning in from. We got Italy in here. Hermie is back from the OC. So far, let me show you my process, or I guess where I'm at. Do you see the rolls? They are all right there. Oh, they're looking good. Jennifer, I see that heart. Look at that. So far I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rolls. Alessandro, how are things with you guys in Italy, if you are still there? I know that we are all connected right now all over the world, and I love to hear updates on people. I see Ruth. Hello, Diego, my Brazilian friend. Oh my gosh, how are you? Laugh out. How are your buns, Hermie? No buns for me. So Hermie, you can watch us make our buns. So I was gonna say, regarding Easter breads, Ruth, did your mother make paska breads, like the Ukrainian paska breads that made in the coffee cans? I was talking about how around Easter time, my mother would be collecting coffee cans or save them from the year before, and whoa, this is a nice big one. Alexander and Nikolai say hello. Hi, Martha. Martha, are you able to bake with us? Nikolai and Alexander. Thea Tanya says hello to you. Look I'm making some hot cross buns. If you don't know how to sing this song, I expect you to learn it, because you have to sing it with your Auntie Tanya. So we are in the middle of getting these on a pan, and when we do, I'm gonna let them sit and rise for another 30 minutes. At that point, I'm going to help Kim, who's baking with me, and any others. If you just want to watch, that's totally fine. Okay, you know what, you guys, I think I'm putting too much flour, but hey, it doesn't hurt. You know what I've noticed is my dough some of it has, like if I put too much flour, I kind of need to brush it off and make sure that it's more pliable like this. Hola, tia Elena, how are you? Mwah. Makalani says, when I get some yeast, I'm going to make my hot cross buns with cinnamon raisins. Yes, Makalani, cinnamon raisins. And honestly, when you smell the dough, it truly smells like cinnamon raisin bread. Because I used, this particular recipe calls for, I mean, most of the recipes call for, isn't it funny how they call for? They call for, do they call us? No. It mentions, but I like that. It calls for cinnamon, allspice. But like I said earlier in the first segment, is I use pumpkin spice seasoning because that's what I have in the cupboard. And when you look at the ingredients on the back, pumpkin spice seasoning has nutmeg, allspice, sometimes like a little bit of clover, but it's got exactly what you need. So even if you're like, oh, I don't have that, look at what you have. And I'm all about, right now, I'm all about utilizing everything that I have in the cupboard because it's spring, it's time for spring cleaning. I am working on a big task in my life, decluttering. And hey, here's an idea, okay? Makalani had mentioned she's gonna make cinnamon raisin ones. Ruth Barsh, no pasta, but just the bread for Easter. Oh yeah, you know what, that's what I meant, paska. Isn't the traditional bread in Russian, Ukrainian called paska? And then, you know, they braid them sometimes, they make them in a round. And then you know what they do too, you guys? They brush it with like an egg wash and then they put candied sprinkles. Different, oh, you guys, every culture has these beautiful Easter breads all over Europe. And in Argentina, my family, oh my gosh, they make facturas, all the delicious sweetbreads. And I was gonna say that, you know, you can kind of think outside of the box. With hot cross buns, yes, traditionally it's sweet and it's got raisins or currants. Today I used pistachios, apricots, dates. But what if you were to make a savory hot cross bun? What if you were to make something that was less sweet and more on the savory side, and then what if you cross them with like things like a chimichurri or a barbecue sauce or something? Hey, anything's possible, and you just have to be creative with it. So right now, hello, we got Debbie. Hi, Debbie, Raquel, Victoria, good to see you again. Hola, Raquel. Mwah. Cheese and jalapeno, yes. See, what if you guys were to make hot cross buns, but like completely savory, you know? Okay, so right now, Kimmy, how are you doing? My little rolls, hey, they're not perfect. They don't have to be. They're unevenly sized, okay? And they're some are bigger than the other. So can you see them? Look, it's your tip. It's like, look at my hot cross buns. Do you like the way they look? They're so cute. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1. I have 16, 17, 18, 19. Hey, I made 19 out of my ball of dough. So now let me go back to my recipe to keep us on track. We are on, if you're following your recipe guide that I posted or I have sent to you because you're either baking with us, we do stuff like that with our cupcakes. We have a smokehouse. Oh my God, I love it. Rebecca is from Texas, and she was commenting back on how, like, the fun things you can do thinking outside of the box from sweet cupcakes. She says they do that with barbecue cupcakes. That's genius. I love it. I'm so craving bread right now. Amy, I think it's your time to make some hot cross buns. Pamela Hill, hello, Pamela. Okay, Kim is saying her hot cross buns aren't even. Kim, don't worry about it. You know why? They're your hot cross buns. These are mine. Someone else is making their own, right? We're not selling these. We're gonna eat these up or give them to our family. Yeah? Okay. So you are adorable. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. So right now, what we're gonna do, according to step number 5 on our recipe, if you're following along, we are gonna cover our buns, our hot cross buns, and we are going to cover it with a towel, and I'm gonna put it nearby for 30 minutes. It's 10:33. I'm gonna put it by, but you guys, we're gonna sort of fast forward a step. So I'm gonna just put this over there. I'm still there. Let me grab a sip of water. Okay, now, Kimmy, as they're rising, we're gonna make our frosting, our icing for the hot cross buns. Hi, Natalie! Natalie, are you baking with us? Girls and boys out there, Natalie is in part of our baking group with the church and with anyone who wants to join us on Facebook Live. If I had a neighbor growing up who made me piroshki with meat or jams, yes, April. Oh my gosh, yes, I grew up with piroshki too, and you can make them savory or sweet. Hi, Carly. I think Carly is joining us from New York City. Hello, Cassandra too. Hello, you guys. So at this point, we just put the hot cross buns individually to the side to rise for 30 minutes. Right now, Kimmy and anyone else who's baking with us, what you're gonna do is you're gonna preheat your oven to 400. Make sure that your second rise is not in the oven. I put my other rolls on top of the stove. Do not put them in the oven if you're gonna preheat your oven. So right now, I'm gonna go just take a little saunter to the oven to preheat it at 400. 400 to preheat for the hot cross buns. Okay, now we are going to make the icing. So let's get ready. I've got my bowl. Kim, frosting first, then glaze after. Yes. Okay, you guys, at this point, Kimmy, thank you for bringing that up. 2 heads are better than 1. Always, always. What we're gonna do right now, this recipe tells me that we're gonna ice the crosses on the buns, and then after they're done baking, we're going to brush them with the glaze, okay? So right now we're gonna make the icing. What we're gonna do is take our 1/3 cup flour. Here goes the flour. Then we're gonna take our sugar. We got 2 tablespoons sugar. Don't forget the sugar like I did in that first segment. You guys, stuff happens. Now we need 2 to 4 tablespoons cold water. So I have a sink right next to me. So here's 1, 2, and then I'm gonna put 3. If I feel like we need more water, I will add more cold water. Hello, Anna. Hello, Tia Elena. Mwah. Yes, I need to make some and give some to you. Well, I'm making some right now. We'll see how they turn out though. I don't know if they'll turn out as excellent as the pictures show. Okay, so Stacy, so fun to see that you've joined us. Now, you guys, we are in the middle of making the icing for the crosses on the hot cross buns. Kimmy, as you're making it with me, do you see my icing? So right now, you guys, I need to put more water in there. So what I'm gonna do is, and this is the cold water. Later on, we're gonna need some boiling water for the glaze. But I'm mixing this up because this, in fact, I thought I was gonna make more, but you know what? This is just enough. We're not gonna be icing like cupcakes. We're gonna be icing crosses. Why are they called hot cross buns, you guys? Because they're crosses. On Good Friday, what do we celebrate? Christ dying on the cross for us. Amen? Amen. So I feel like this consistency, look at that. Do you see it? Do you see the consistency? How thick? You know what, Kimmy? I don't know. It's a really good question. I feel like I'm gonna put a little bit more water because I almost feel like you wanna look for maybe like a thickness that's spreadable on a cake, if that makes sense. And you know what? You gotta taste it. Oh, that tastes good. Oh, you know what I did? Did I do this? Yes, I wanted to tell you guys that the sugar is, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, there's 2 types of sugar. Make sure you're using granulated sugar for this. And then for the glaze, you're gonna use powdered sugar. But the recipe calls for that. Okay, so how's your icing? How's your icing, Kimmy? Anyone joining in? Oh, Giselle! Hi, Giselle from North Carolina. You guys, we have people from all over the world. We had South Africa, we had Italy, we have the Carolinas, we have the East Coast, Philadelphia, and then we have people. Oh my gosh, Oksana! I think you're coming in from Washington, right? Okay, so now grab your Ziploc bag. This is what we need now. Grab your Ziploc bag, and what I'm gonna do is I've just made the icing for the hot press buns. You know what, Sarah? It looks nice. I hope that it tastes nice too. Okay, so Kimmy says she's ready to ice baby. This is always kind of tricky, right? Is like getting all this in a nice Ziploc bag. So if you're watching, this could take a while, but and it might be a little bit of a mess, but that's okay, because that's what baking is. How many of you guys enjoy baking? I have been baking since I was a little girl, just because the opportunity has always been there with family and with friends and neighbors. In fact, I started out with like baking cookies for Christmas, right? And then watching like family members make beautiful things, like, oh my gosh, all my tias make empanadas, and they make little like sweet rolls to drink with their mate. My mother would always make Russian Easter breads. It's just a fun activity, and anyone can do it. You just have to follow the recipe easily. Okay, so we just got, look at this. It's gonna be kind of messy. So Kim, hola! Set the Ziploc in a measuring cup. Oh, that's a really good tip. I guess I should have read that earlier. Yes, Raquel enjoys baking. Oh, my cousin, my prima Raquel, she makes amazing pasta flor. Raquel, I love your pasta flor. Baking at 10 p.m. Yes, Costa, you have seen me baking brownies like way at night, right? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna close this bag up, and Kim, for those of you who are baking with us, the recipe says to wait for the rolls to rise for 30 minutes before we cross them. So what we're gonna do right now, hearts, I love the hearts. We're gonna cut this and we're gonna ice the buns now, because I don't think it will hurt. Because then we have to wait, continue waiting, and then you're gonna bake on your own. I won't be live waiting to bake. So right now, let me go grab those buns. And does that make sense, Kim? I have the buns here, okay? Hi, Robin. Good to see you jumping in here. And I'm gonna grab some kitchen shears, and I'm going to, ooh, you know what I noticed? Uh-oh. I don't know if this will work well. I noticed that my Ziploc bag does not have a corner. Ooh, this is gonna be tricky. So my crosses might be wobbly lines. Okay. Oh man. Oh, you know what I could do is, okay, so you guys, this is gonna be tricky. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick because they're kind of floury and sticky. My Ziploc bag, I have encountered an obstacle. And what do we do in life when we encounter obstacles? We stop, we give it to God, and he gives us the wisdom to go to the next step, right? Okay, so my obstacle now is my Ziploc bag does not have a corner. Look at this. Sign off with a perfect Julia Child sign. Okay, bye, Casa. We'll see you later. Christine! Guess what, Christine? Sarah is on here. You guys, I'm like reuniting with my junior high friends. I think that's so beautiful. Oh, cut the side. Okay, so you're April. Love you. You guys, this is why community is so important. I'm cutting the side, but I'm also going to, I got it. Okay, here we go. Okay, Kim, are you ready to ice with me? And anyone else who is doing this? So can you guys see this? Oh my gosh, you can, I think. I'm gonna go all across, down like a lane, like you're driving. Oh my gosh, that's so good. You guys, I'm so excited. So here, look. April, thank you for that tip. Just cut the side. Obstacles sometimes are not really obstacles. They're just a little pebble in the way. That was a pebble in my way. And you know what? I kicked the pebble to the side with the help of April's suggestion. And now I'm crossing it. Okay, so look, can you see that? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited you could see this. Okay, Melanie is asking to see Kim's hot cross buns. So I have some people baking on this segment, right? But unlike Instagram Live, which you guys, I'm an Instagram liver. I love Instagram Live. If you're ever around on Instagram on Tuesdays at 2, I have a little Instagram Live called Tea Time with Tanya at 2. And we share and we care, we tell jokes. But on this Facebook Live, I could just see you guys read. Hi, Nobby. Oh my gosh, this was just enough icing to cross. Okay, look, it is complete. Bah. I love you all. Jane, hi, Jane. You're my neighbor. We're in the same city. Okay, so look, I have just finished crossing the hot cross buns with the icing that we just made. Kimmy and anyone else who's baking with us, how are you guys? I'm surprised that was you guys, it's not that hard. It's easy. You just mix some water with sugar and then you just cut the plastic bag and ice it. So right now, our plan on the agenda, because I have a timeline here, we are now going to let this rest for another 15 minutes. I was supposed to ice these after 30 minutes, but because we're doing this live class. Hi, Howard. Oh no, Melanie, you didn't miss the penguin joke, so maybe you're reminding me that I have to tell it by popular demand. So I'm gonna let this sit for another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to bake it. I'm gonna bake this for about 15 to 20 minutes at 400 degrees in the oven. When that is done, we're gonna let that cool, and I'm coming back to do the last segment of hot cross buns with my baking friends and Kim, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our last glaze, and then it's complete. And it went like that. So let me go put this to the side, or if not, I will, I'll finish with that penguin joke. Okay, so there was these penguins, and they were taking a shower, and one of them dropped the bar of soap, and the other one said, "Hey, can you pick up the bar of soap?" And the other one said, "What do I look like, a typewriter?" That's just for you. Those of you who know, and Melanie and Chris, by popular demand. Yes, I'm getting laughs on the screen. So you guys, before I leave for this segment, we'll be back at 11:40, according to my timeline, and with baked hot cross buns. And Kimmy's gonna tell me her experience, and anyone else who is joining us that's baking. And we're gonna share our buns. We're gonna share, and we're gonna glaze them, and they will be complete. And before I go, we're gonna always start and end the segment with singing Hot Cross Buns. Are you guys ready? Sing from wherever you're at. Here you go. We will see you soon after these are baked. We are back. Hot Cross Buns. Happy Good Friday. Look, they have just come out of the oven and here they are. Oh my gosh. I wish you could smell. Kimmy. Kimmy is baking with us. How are your buns? Okay, so we just took out the hot cross buns out of a 400-degree oven. Hi, Mamo and Tatu. My mom and dad are on live. Hi, Carol. Yes. So here are the hot cross buns. So right now we bake them with the crosses icing made out of icing. Now the final step is making our glaze. Now I have researched several recipes and every recipe is a little bit different. Some have called for icing and glaze only right before you bake it. Hi, Alphonse. Good to see you. Firm buns. Good job. Hey, you know what? They're looking pretty good. I already took a little taste of one. So right now we're going to finish with the glaze on top. And what I have is I forget how much. I have 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. And what you need is boiling water. So I just boiled some water and I'm going to take a teaspoon of it. In fact, I'm going to put it in the front here so I don't spill. I'm going to take a teaspoon of boiled water. I'm going to mix it in my powdered sugar. And what I need to do is get a runny consistency. Can you see that? You can see me. You're so... No, I can't see you, but I can see who's joined in. So we've got so many people joining in today. It's so exciting. We got people from different countries on the East Coast, the West Coast. Alphonse, I know you're on the East Coast. Hi, Christine. Okay, so can you kind of see this consistency? That is the glaze that we're going to put on. Hi, Des. We're going to put this on top of the finished baked hot cross buns. Now, what you want to do is put this on while the buns are warm, because it'll just make that glaze melt really nice on top of them. Okay, a couple tools. If you've never done this before, you can use a brush like this. This is like a painting brush that's obviously clean. Hi, Alessandro. Hi, Sandy. Or you can use like a baking brush like this. That's really easy to handle. So I'm gonna kind of try both and see what happens. So here's the hot cross buns. Can you see them? Can you see the hot cross buns? Okay, so I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna beautifully glaze. Look at that. Oh my gosh, they're becoming shiny. Oh, look at that. They're shiny. And you know what? I'm right next to the kitchen window where I have the natural sunlight coming in. So it's just, they're glowing. These buns are glowing. These hot cross buns are glowing and they are going to be so tasty and beautiful. Something that I wanted to share. You know what I have recently noticed is a lot of people in America are not too familiar with hot cross buns. I mean, there's some that are. Oh, I got a brush string in on top of that. Some are, but hot cross buns, I was reading, okay? Yes, we see your Thank you, Carol. I'm glad you can see the buns. In fact, you know what's funny is I feel like I could put some more on, but I think it's just right. Hot cross buns, I was reading, have been around since the 12th century. It's a very historical bread, if I might add. And I was reading that it was traditionally made after Lent because, you know, for the Catholics during Lent, they give up things. And this was kind of like a traditional thing that you get to put in the things that you gave up. But also it was a monk that decided to add a cross to the traditional bread, which is so cool because the cross represents Jesus's crucifixion on Good Friday, which is the tradition of when hot cross buns are made. And this is so fun. Just finding out facts of hot cross buns. The spices that we use in hot cross buns represent the spices that they use to embalm. So that, you know, when you read about how they embalmed Christ, and the crosses on top obviously represent Christ. And so these hot cross buns are traditionally made all over Australia, England, India, Canada. They're very popular and they're made and they're sold everywhere. Now, this morning, someone messaged me asking me if they could find these in the store. And I said, you know what? I've been able to find them in some bakeries around Easter time. There are bakeries open. So if you guys want to kind of, you know, I know that we're supposed to be inside. That's why I'm hosting, to make your own. But I don't see them as common here. So I hope that you've been inspired to possibly bake these yourself. Hello, Mary. Hi, Alicia. Rowie. Hi, April again. So I hope that you feel inspired to possibly make these around Easter time. And traditionally, they're made on Good Friday and given to friends and family and eaten around the Easter weekend. So here we are. This is it. So last but not least, we got to taste it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little one at the end over there. And Kimmy, I know you just got yours out of the oven and she possibly iced them. Those of you who just tuned in right now, we've iced. This is the final segment of hot cross buns baking on Good Friday. We've just iced the top of the hot cross buns. They were baking in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes at a 400 degree oven. And now I'm going to taste it. Okay. They're really soft, fluffy, and I immediately taste the cinnamon and the spices. And the right amount of that glaze and the icing is just enough. It's not super sweet. It's just enough to kind of like dip in a hot cup of coffee or tea. And remember, I wanted to reiterate that when you make hot cross buns, you know, traditionally they're made with raisins or dried fruit, currants. I didn't have those things. So I used dried apricot, pistachios, and dates. And I love that combination. So I would say if you're going to make these, mail you some. Yes, I wish I could mail these out. If you're going to make them traditionally, but like, don't be afraid to think outside of the box. And in fact, I was talking to Makalani, my friend, and she's inspired to possibly make like a Hawaiian style one where you kind of make more of an egg bread and maybe you do your crosses in guava jam. Oh, that would taste so delicious. And earlier, I think in the first segment, I was saying, hey, what if you were to take hot cross buns and make them savory? What if you were to take them and put jalapeno, cheese, pepper. I mean, there's so many combinations. And you could also make the crosses with different sauces. Or you could just go a little bit wild and put chocolate chips and do caramel crosses. I mean, the combinations and the ideas are endless. So I hope that you have enjoyed the Facebook Live of this baking class. There's 3 segments. So if you wanted to follow along, really, I don't have a favorite recipe. I just picked a recipe that I thought would be easy to follow. But I totally recommend Googling and finding recipes that you like. And don't let it stop here. There's so many people who are hosting different types of classes and things online. And I hope that this has inspired you to do something in your home during quarantine. And may God bless you on this Good Friday. And here's to the last bite. Hot cross buns. Have a great day, guys. Bye.